morning. My name is Svetlana Shashavina, and I'm going to demonstrate to you today the practice of Bhastrika. Bhastrika means bellows breath. It came from Sanskrit, it came from yogic practice. It's often used as a part of pranayama, but it's not really pranayama proper, it's preparation for pranayama. So just for somebody who doesn't know what pranayama is the art of controlling your breath. So Bhastrika is a hyperventilation technique. It involves very deliberate and very energetic inhalation and exhalation, and it can invoke different types of and different areas of your breathing system. Quite often people separate chest Bhastrika from abdominal Bhastrika. Some people separate upper chest Bhastrika from middle chest Bhastrika. But in our practice today, we'll just not separate upper and lower and middle chest Bhastrika, we'll just do one. Just make sure then when you do chest Bhastrika, don't raise your shoulder blades and shoulders and the collarbones too high, just try to keep them level and static. So Bhastrika is a hyperventilation technique, and since it's very forceful, one of the effects of Bhastrika is training and strengthening your breathing muscles, particularly intercostal muscles involved in exhalation and inhalation. It also helps you to feel your abdominal diaphragm and make it stronger. So, what are the effects of Bhastrika on our state, on our feelings? It's a hyperventilation technique, and it speeds up your parasympathetic system, so it's energizing. So it's good to do it in the morning, or if you feel a little bit foggy and you need like a boost of energy, you can use Bhastrika instead of a cup of coffee. It became such a phrase these days. Or you want to prepare before playing pickleball and need a little bit energy and a little oomph, so you can do Bhastrika before that too. So, but of course yogis don't play pickleball, so why do they do that? So pranayama is primarily about learning how to hold your breath. There's various effects related to calming your mind or reaching some alternative state of your mind. And this can be reached by holding your breath for prolonged periods of time. So our breathing center is very sensitive to the concentration of CO2 in our body, in our lungs, in our blood, and the whole system. So when we do Bhastrika, we actually wash out CO2 from our system, and after Bhastrika you can hold your breath, and it takes your system longer to reach this critical concentration of CO2. That's why quite often people do this Bhastrika exercises before practicing holding breath. So these are the main effects, and next I'll demonstrate you first chest Bhastrika, then stomach Bhastrika or abdominal Bhastrika, and then I'll show you the full Bhastrika. So let's begin. It's a good practice to do a couple of calming breaths. In and out, in and out. Don't try to follow me in the same rhythm. Do it in your own speed. Try to make inhalation and exhalation take the same time. And if you feel lightheaded, please stop and do a couple of relaxing cycles of breathing. I'll do probably about 10. I forgot to remind you to bring some Kleenex. Quite often you will need this. So this one was chest Bhastrika. Now let's do abdominal Bhastrika. Now full Bhastrika. Full Bhastrika is, if you're familiar with full yogic breath, is basically the same. You try to incorporate simultaneous inhalation and exhalation in your stomach and chest. Some people like to start with stomach, but I would recommend to start with the center somewhere here, and imagine that you like a cylindrical balloon extending in all directions, here, 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 and also in the back, in your middle, like in this area, this area, this area, like a cylinder. Okay, let's begin. A good practice is to accompany Bhastrika with arm movements. And don't be too much concerned about is it going to be chest Bhastrika or stomach Bhastrika. Just make sure that you just synchronize inhalation and exhalation with movements of your arms. A good practice, maybe to add, which I forgot to mention, and it's a good element to add to the previous exercises, is to add Mula Bandha. Mula Bandha is the root lock, when you contract all the muscles around your genitals. Okay, so let's begin with this motion of arms. Is basically moving your arms backwards and leaning backwards like this and forward like this. Try to exaggerate the movement of your spinal cord. Don't bring your head too much forward, but just have a natural extension of this line. Okay, let's begin. Another common movement is the following. Let's begin. And finally, moving your arms up and down, contracting your hands into fists and trying to hit your chest, ribs with your arms. Let's begin. Thank you. Enough for today.